Prepare to attack the enemy's control points.
Get behind me, Doctor!
I am fully charged!
You are listening to Control Point, a Team Fortress 2 podcast with Brent Copeland, Eric Fullerton, Wes Wilson, and Spencer Williams.
Control Point, episode 16, recorded on February 3rd, 2008.
I am Brent Copeland.
I am Eric Fullerton.
I am Wes Wilson.
I am Spencer Williams.
And you are listening to the Control Point podcast.
That was freaky.
Did you even know we were doing that, Eric?
No.
Wow. That's pretty funny.
Here we are in another fun, pack-jammed episode.
Fun pack-jammed?
Yeah.
Whoa, hey, what's that Pyro doing with the briefcase over there?
Wow.
Oh my god, it's on fire!
Oh my god, the fire is burning up the briefcase!
Flames, it's burning! Wait, I got a fire extinguisher. I've got a fire extinguisher.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm gonna open up the briefcase. Oh my god, it's like one of those trick candle briefcases. It's lighting back on fire. Oh my god!
Well, a fire extinguisher!
Put it out. Is it safe to open?
I don't know, is there anything left?
Ooh, it's hot to the touch.
Okay.
Hold on, let's open it up.
Okay, now first thing that we have in the briefcase this week is the fact that Eric and, Brent and Wes and I came up with that briefcase gag just so that Eric couldn't do one.
I also tried to dream one up real quick. Like, crap, what am I going to do this week?
So let's see, this week in the briefcase, they're kind of smoking hot. We got two new Machinima starring the Pyro and the Soulja. We got a Control Point song from our friend Ash Williams. Some interesting, turret info? Yes. Sentry? I haven't heard about this. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited about that. Are you excited, Brent?
I am very excited because I have not heard a thing about the turret info.
And this week's Reconnaissance, the map that we are going to be talking about far too long probably is...
Mario Kart.
What?
Oh, wait.
I think it's Gravel Pit.
It is Gravel Pit.
Gravel Pit. That's
ABC?
like my favorite map, I think.
ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. We're recording this. We are really goofy right now. So this
We're
is
always
gonna be,
goofy, though.
No, but this one, I'm like, seriously, I'm like, I could fall asleep, like, with this mouth in my mic. I mean, wait, stop. Reverse that.
That was gold.
Mic in my mouth.
I can play the Scissor Sisters again.
No, you can't. Okay, let's see. Who we got to do our status. Team Fortress status.
Woo! I want to go first because mine's really short.
Hey, go.
I think we all
Eric.
are, but I like the idea of you going first.
Eric.
Yeah?
Eric, you're not. Eric, look at me.
Yeah.
Are you looking at me?
I think
right
so.
now,
Is that you
Eric
over there?
Fullerton is looking
okay.
across the table at Spencer Williams.
Eric, how was your week?
It was fantastic.
Oh, awesome. Eric's week was fantastic.
First off, non-TF2 related, I've been playing a lot of R-Type Final. It's a Korean import for PS2.
A Korean import for PS2.
West.
Sorry.
I've logged around 50 hours on it, and it's so addicting. But in the TF2 realm, I played... Or actually, I didn't really play it. I played it offline, but I checked out CP Studio.
What kind of map is that?
Holy crap, this thing is cool. Remember last week I was talking about... we got a question asking us what kind of sci-fi map would you play or fantasy map would you like to see out there? And I said the city of Hill Valley.
Oh, right, yeah.
From Back to the Future. Well, it exists.
Oh, really?
The clock tower, everything. The studio, I mean, it is awesome. Totally awesome. And there's a little DeLorean in there, too.
Why are we recording? We should be playing that right
I know.
now.
I have played it.
How is it?
It's good. It is a good map.
It's really good.
And there's
good
five
detail.
five cap points, and three of them
is one of them in the past.
One of them's Lord of the Rings. One of them's Lord of the Rings. One of them is
Terminator.
Back to the Future.
Sorry.
There's a Terminator.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been at the Terminator point.
Cop this
I believe
point if you want
is it
to
Blue
leave.
Team's like?
Yeah, it's a blue team. It's not really a Terminator theme. It's just the Terminator like statue behind some glass that you can just look at.
That's weak.
Yeah, but it's a really good model. Like,
there's a little wizard statue next to the Lord of the Rings set.
Yeah.
And then there's the river with the two big statues with their arms out.
And all the trees are all custom, and I mean, it's a
I'll have to take a look at that.
Super map.
It's got some neat pathways too.
Yeah,
there's some neat ways to run from point to point that aren't
your standard pathways.
I was shaking over here, and
he's shaking like a leaf.
Really? Are you cold?
So that sounds like a really cool map.
Nervous. Yeah. I want to play it online. I played it offline just because I just wanted to look at it.
Do we have it up on?
Yeah,
on the,
we do.
Yep, it's up on the server.
Is it up on? Don't we have a new server that we should talk about?
We do.
Is it on that server?
It is not.
Oh, weak. Anyway, anything else in your week?
No, that's about it. I played some last night.
You know what? I want to go ahead and say that we recorded episode 15 like 4 days ago, so it's been a short week. And
yeah.
And the other thing is we've been working on Sorry, I'm not supposed to talk about
We're not working about anything.
A secret
working
project.
on anything. God, I can't talk today.
Okay.
Hey, Wes.
Not the secret project.
How was your week? You only have one thing written on here, and I want to hear about it. So
the two words are written in all caps next to my name. It says "stupid engineer." My engineer time played has passed my medic time, and I'm angry about that. I think I'm a good engineer. I think I'm a better medic. But the problem is I get on these maps, and when you're getting steamrolled, it seems like the first thing that I look to see how many engineers we have when I go to spawn. Mm-hmm. You know, like what I'll do is if we're getting steamrolled, I'll go, there's an imbalance. And immediately, while I'm waiting for my respawn timer to hit, I'll see what classes are being played. And if there's not 2 engineers, I'll play one because I feel like it's the one way you can stop being easily steamrolled. Mm-hmm. Are you yawning over there, Spencer?
Yeah, but not because of what you're saying, just because I'm tired. So. Take no offense.
Did you say steamrolled or rickrolled?
All of the
Never
above.
Gonna
We should splice in us singing.
Yeah, we should.
No, we shouldn't.
Stick around for the end of the episode.
Never gonna.
I did play a lot this week. And everybody was really nice. I did get called onto the server a couple of times for some people that were causing problems, and then I'd get there and they wouldn't cause any problems.
Like griefers or hacksaws?
I don't really know. People would go, I'm having a problem with somebody, and then I'd say, okay, I'll be on right. Oh, well, they just left, or that kind of stuff. So
I've only ever kicked one person off the server.
I've never. I've had a discussion with someone.
I banged one, yes.
Did you take him out behind the woodshed?
I wish. No,
I kicked Brent once, I think, didn't I? Just for fun.
Did you?
Or maybe it was Clyde Frog. I don't remember.
No, the only thing I really did, I told one user, oh no, I've done this twice. I'll see an inappropriate spray, and then I'll go and find a place, and I'll spray everybody's sprays on the wall and figure out whose spray it belongs to.
Yeah.
And then I will tell them, hey, look, do me a favor, don't use that spray around here. And I've never really had any problems with it. So that was cool. Pretty much my week. I logged on a little bit today, and I wanted to play some Gravel Pit. But I mean, when you first log on, you don't want to be like a mod jerk and just change the map immediately.
Oh, I do it. Yeah. I do it.
Like I said, I don't want to be a mod jerk.
How about a mod drunk?
I've done that. Anyway,
did that last night.
I was drinking beer Friday night while I was playing. But anyway, so I wanted to play some Gravel Pit, and we finally got to, and then I said, okay, well, at the end of this map, switch to Gravel Pit, and we were playing Granary, and it was a long game, and then right before the end of the match, somebody snuck in a rock the vote. And they changed the next map. So then it got to the next map, and I'm like, this isn't what I wanted. So then I had to be a mod jerk.
Oh, you didn't see them do the rock the vote?
Not until it was too late.
I actually tell people
there's a cancel the vote on there.
Okay, well, I didn't see that.
I will actually tell people I'm changing the map because I need to play it for the podcast, and usually people are cool.
Oh, everybody was actually happy. It had switched to Dust Bowl, and I think people are a little burned out on Dust Bowl right now.
Huh.
So you pull out the host card like, well, this is like research. We have to change the map to this.
I don't use the nerd voice when I say it.
Actually, Mint Condition did say out loud, he goes, well, Wes hasn't ever played that map, so he needs to try it some.
Nice.
I was like, thanks. Yeah, Mint Condition actually, he got on the good side of my wife by having his children sing
Oh yeah,
Christmas songs. Well, then today I'm like, well, guys, I got to go. My wife wants to take a shower. I need to break. He goes, ooh, I was wondering what that smell was. So my mom doesn't like mint condition anymore. I mean, my wife.
Your mom.
Wow, there's some issues.
Freudian slip.
That wasn't a Freudian slip. When I'm
You're
talking
right.
to my son, it's mommy and daddy. Why wouldn't I call her mom?
That's true.
God, you people are sick.
Get behind me, doctor!
Okay, moving on. Who else is going next?
Well, I guess I'll go.
But you got
No,
lots of stuff.
No, I don't. That's
Hey
really not all
Spencer,
that much.
what'd you do this week?
Man, in the last 4 days, I have not played DF2 at all. I actually logged on for about 30 seconds right before we started recording, just so I could say I played. I just haven't had
Were
time.
you kicking butt?
No, I got shot like 4 times, and I was like, oh man, I don't have time for this.
Aren't you glad we choose the podcasters to join us who don't play?
Yeah.
Man,
I think that's
okay,
great.
You know,
Brent, I think you're the only person that's really put in. I mean, I have 14 hours the last 2 weeks. You have what, 120?
I haven't actually checked it, but I didn't really get.
And then these
3
two
days
jokers. Then these two jokers, they just don't even try.
R-Type, man. It's hard to walk away from R-Type.
oh god, I've just this move is killing me, and I know I keep saying that, but I'm like trying to fix up the old house, and it's really dragging my playtime down.
But how's your ship doing?
I don't know what you're talking about. What he's saying is I did pick up Pirates of the Burning Sea, and I have been playing that a little bit.
But
Yes. TBS.
Which kind of brings us to something else. The 3 new podcasts we're doing on moving, R-Type, and Pirates of the
Week. Yeah. I have to say, I was reading in the forums, and I feel sorry for Nico.
Why?
Because she's lonely.
She's lonely at 3 a.m.
Yeah, 3 and 4. In
Yes.
But I used to talk to her, and I can't now because I'm moving
Well,
and painting.
and painting.
Playing Pirates of the Burning Sea.
I'm talking really
Well,
softly.
you should invite her and her hundreds of pirates to join you on your pirate ship.
I think maybe if you talked louder, she might be able to hear you.
What? Yeah, and I've just generally been ignoring the community in general just because I haven't had a whole lot of energy. I still love you guys, except for Brent. I lust after Brent. I don't love him. Hey, Brent, how was your week?
It was cool.
Cool.
Cucumber cool?
Yeah.
Rick Astley cool?
A little more than that. No, not quite. Yeah, I'll go Rick Astley. Cool. That's cool. A few things, I guess. We did have some issues with some griefers, and they've been posting on the forums about them. I've been getting tells from them.
I actually got a lot of messages this week about this. About people saying, "Hey, look, will you fix this situation?" Yeah. And I don't really know how to tell people. Basically, my attitude is, I try not to punish people for things that I don't see.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like if somebody, so-and-so is cheating. Well, I'm not going to pop in and ban them just because you said they're cheating. And it's not that I don't trust people. It's just that, there's a million things that could have happened that any individual couldn't have seen. Until I see something with my own eyes, I'm not going to do anything about it.
That makes perfect sense.
So, I'll say, hey, I'll get on the server and I'll check it out, but sometimes people just want us to do things,
Yeah, yeah. And there are some people you can take, you can listen to them a little bit.
Well, I listen to everybody, but I'm still going to look. Now, I like the pictures that were on the forums. That was a good idea.
Yeah, so that's kind of the thing. If you're having issues with griefers, what we want you to do is to go to console, type log on, and then enter, and then type status, and then enter. And what that'll do is create a file, and it'll tell you exactly where that file is that logs everybody's Steam ID.
Is that 2 words, log and then on?
Yes, log space on.
Okay.
And then get a screenshot of what they're doing. Get as many as you can get of whatever's going on. Try to contact us as well, but then send us that information.
And the reason we need the log is because someone's in-game name might not match their Steam ID.
Correct.
And therefore we won't know who they are. But if we have the log, we'll have all their Steam IDs so that we can say, ban so-and-so.
Yeah,
right.
Has it really been a big problem on our server?
We have people saying on the threads that they do not play on server 1 anymore, and that some of these griefers are going to server 4 because it's, and then they're causing problems there.
That's right. If you're going to press charges against a griefer, you need the proper amount of evidence.
I think that's the best way to handle it and go case by case and slowly weed out any griefers, and people will just know if you get there, you'll get banned if you keep doing stuff like that.
You know, honestly, we're gonna have griefers no matter what, just because it's the internet. And
I mean, when the Roomba videos came out, our own CP, the Roomba videos, the Team Roomba videos.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. The griefing videos.
Yeah. We had even CP members going spectator and stuff like that going, hee.
Well, maybe they're filming part 3 on our server, you think?
That could be it. Except that none of their names match vacuum cleaner names, which, you know, most of them are like, you know, Roomba and stuff like that.
I didn't realize that.
Floor sweeper and, you know.
Interesting.
Correct.
Thank you for your support.
So I also put out a call on the forums about I was heading up to Nashville on Saturday for a casting call for The Mole, which is a reality TV show.
Yeah, I still don't really get what that's all about, but I guess that's because I'm not Brent.
Ask Jeeves. He knows.
It's a good show, so when it comes out, watch it. And anyway, so I put out a call to see if you might want to go do lunch. Well, I didn't really get to check my private messages while I was there, so I missed the few messages I got.
We have a couple of listeners in the
I thought we did.
Nashville area, don't we?
Because we have a prepper map.
Yeah,
Just kind of look it up.
I got 3 or 4 people saying call me up, and so now we got their numbers. And since I didn't get to call them while I was there, we thought we'd give you their numbers so you can call them.
Let's prank call them.
I'm just kidding, because that's what I told them I was going to do, but I'm really not going to.
I have their phone numbers right here.
Yeah.
202.
Did anyone in the community actually call the number that we did last?
I have not seen anyone fess up to it.
That's weak. I wish they would call it.
I know.
Donkeyman.
Yeah, he was on last night.
Yeah, I played with him last night. He's got a
He's pretty good.
He's
too.
from UK, I think. He had an accent.
He was
at least he has an excuse for not calling it because he's in the UK. And
and calling his own phone number would be bad.
I guess.
Don't ruin my jokes, Spencer.
Well, I mean, clearly he's in the the UK. Clearly, a 202 number is not his number.
It could be. Nobody knew he was in the UK till you just mentioned it.
You did. You mentioned it when I said he's in the UK.
No, you are such a liar.
Get your mouth out of your mic.
Did you have anything else this week, Brent?
Yes.
Cool.
I thought,
what the hell is going on here?
Brent's the king of the dramatic beats.
Yeah.
I thought since Eric's throwing out some new terminology and stuff each week, I'd throw one out for you too.
Sweet.
I thought it would be cool for good for clan leaders when they're trying to get matches going, and at the start, you know, people are talking, playing music, and they shouldn't be doing that anymore on our servers, but and just chaos, you know, and so just mics down and just a little simple. Tells everybody to basically shut the STFU and listen up.
That's good.
So the term is mics down?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And the last thing is...
mics down. I think we need to discuss this some more.
Oh, we really don't.
Yeah, we
do.
do.
Now that I'm hearing it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now that you say it out loud.
I think you just say nobody talk. I mean, that works much better than mics down. No one has to know what that means.
I think mics down is a more...
It's pretty self-explanatory.
What, you're supposed to put your mic down even though it's attached to your headset? That doesn't make any sense.
No, who's being literal?
Well, it's kind of like...
I am, because it sounds literal.
Well, it's kind of like in the military, right? You say stand down. You're not standing down physically. You're not sitting down on the ground or standing lower than the other person.
So should we say talk down, which means like stop talking? Is that what it
down.
means? Stop standing? I don't know what you're talking. What are you getting at here? I don't understand.
Well,
it's like your mouth is music and just like stuff is falling out.
It's
I don't
when
know
you
what
say
it
mics
means.
down, you're saying put your mics down. Well,
I
you
think
can't physically do it, but if you don't
it's
talk,
more
you're doing
polite.
the same thing.
It's a polite way of saying STFU, right?
Yeah.
So,
and that's basically all it is, because that's...
I don't know. I've always gotten away with saying, "Hey guys, let's keep the mics quiet while we get this done." And it, you know,
but the mics don't make noise.
But when we're in a squad match, we're busy. We need to get information out fast. We don't need this. Hey guys, could y'all please? Nailhead, could you please turn down your mic? And Wes Wilson, could you turn down your mic for me? And
your slippery slope logic is not doing anything to me. I mean, clearly you are taking what I said
but you play
beyond
that
the bounds
Pirates
of what
of the
I
Burning
said.
Sea.
Yeah,
game.
and you know what I say in that? I say mics down all the time when I'm playing that.
Is that because they don't have voice
No, that's
chat?
because pirates actually wear mics on their feet, and you want them to put them down. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
I think we're all in the same boat, and it's in the Pirates of the...
Okay, you know what? This next thing that you have on your list I want to talk about. I'm looking forward to this.
So I got my hands right here.
Let's give them a little background. Brent and I bumped into each other, at
Comp USA,
and they're like having their big going out of business sale, and we're looking for crap to buy, and he finds this. What is it?
It is PC Gamer's Ultimate Strategy Guide.
For Team Fortress 2.
Unbeatable tactics for every map.
And they're not unbeatable.
And, this is a $10 magazine.
They got
this
unbeatable strategies for Mario Kart in there?
No, just for Team Fortress 2.
I think that's the next issue. We'll have Mario Kart.
It says for every map.
But okay, so for
talk about the mag.
Basically, a $10 magazine. The only reason anything with Team Fortress that was there, I probably would think about getting. But $10, a strategy guide. I'm not really into buying strategy guides so much,
especially for Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so it was like 60% off, 60% off. So I went ahead and got it, and let's just say the strategies in there are not, and there are no strategies is the problem. It's basically an overview of the classes and an overview of the main maps. That's it. It's not even a full page of information on each map, and it's just ridiculous to me that they can sell this like that.
I think they did mention in there that snipers should shoot from the sniper deck, though. That's a pretty good strategy.
Yeah, it had a whole section or a whole page on 2 Fort. There was no strategies. It was just a list of names, and the names were actually kind of horrible. Like the bridge, they named Middle Bridge.
Yes.
As opposed to the outer bridge or the inner bridge, right? And they named the sewer. They named the sewer water/sewer. That's two different things. There's the sewer, and then there's the water. It's not both. Right?
Yeah, but they just overviewed, so you can say the water.
Yeah, I mean,
but
clearly,
they had a whole page of these.
Clearly, the way that they came up with these strategies is they put someone in who'd never played the game before, and they just played it for like a week and came up with their strategies for it. So clearly, it's not going to be up to snuff of like what we would expect.
Right. And the grate. Oh yeah, it's drop.
Yeah, I was just looking for that
grate.
one. The drop down grate instead of the grate. It just doesn't make any sense.
And my main issue with this isn't the content so much, because I think that content would be fine for a PC Gamer magazine if it was just a Team Fortress 2 article. But to say on the front of your magazine, unbeatable tactics for every map, and there's not a single tactic in there, is ludicrous to me.
Yeah.
And some of their stats, I mean, they have incorrect information.
Yes, they had.
For example,
yeah,
I just wanted to bring this up.
I know what you're going to say.
For example, the sniper's melee weapon is listed as the machete.
Wrong.
But it's not a machete.
No, it's clearly not a machete. A machete is a straight blade that is sharpened on one side.
Yes.
A machete has a forward bend.
Yes.
Yes. That's the difference, right?
You mean a machete has a forward bend?
No, I said a kukri has a.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
You said machete.
So that was our first. Never mind. So yeah,
anyway,
this
don't go by that.
This piece of trash right here. I just smacked the mic with it. It's terrible. If you see it, don't buy it.
Get your mag out of your mic.
I just threw it across the room. Okay.
So, and that's all I want to talk about.
The one thing it's good for is it has some overhead views of the maps.
Yeah,
it does.
Nice color, glossy maps.
And it's got some pictures. It's got some pictures and some overhead views of the maps.
So you're saying you don't read it for the articles?
But if you want to get those maps, we'll draw them for you for $9 instead of buying the magazine.
That was a good joke.
Yeah.
Everybody missed it.
I didn't miss it. I couldn't hear both of you at the same time, though. Hey, is that all your week there, Brent?
Yes.
Hey, guess what? It's time for... Someone guess, for the love of God.
On the loudspeaker.
On the loudspeaker, yes, thank you. News and discussions. We don't have a whole lot here, just because it hasn't been that long since we last recorded. Has there even been an update? There hasn't been any updates in the game or anything like that.
I don't think so.
They had a VAC update sometime, but
yeah, that's not really newsworthy.
We just didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see.
Oh,
what you got there?
We got Machinima, a new piece of Machinima work here called Pyro Love. This is by Piers and
Elendil 2003.
Thank you. And it's a short. It's very much inspired by Ignis Solus, which was mainly about the Pyro and Two Fort. Well, this one features a Pyro as well. It kind of feels like a sequel. It all takes place in the well map. They obviously use Gary's mod for this, so it's a little, it's better than your average Machinima, right?
And it doesn't have original music like.
Yeah. The original song from Ignis Solus was awesome, really awesome. This movie has about 4 or 5 different songs.
Yeah, I've got a list here: Radiohead and Biosphere, and
some of the music is really good. It just feels a little disjointed sometimes. It doesn't flow.
Yeah. It's good. It's worth taking a look at. We'll link to that.
Okay. And there was another one too that I knew Wes was excited about.
It was kind of funny. I mean, I like music videos for Machinima where they write original music. For instance, like the iPug KZ song, and stuff like that for Warcraft. What they did was they did a Soulja Boy video, and it's all about a soldier killing people. And it's very, the video is very repetitive and the song is repetitive, but it's, I don't know, it's kind of a fun watch, and I enjoyed it.
Song. Yeah, it's hip hop. I don't like that a lot of, like, the main hook, it was a loop. I mean, the video, you kept seeing the same shots over and over.
On the chorus, they showed the exact same video every single time the chorus
That's
played.
weak.
Yeah.
You know what? I was mentioning this earlier. I actually don't like music videos in general because I feel like they're always too long.
Yeah.
Well, this one was only about two and a half minutes.
Yeah, this one's short.
It was still too long. I'm just saying that it didn't work for me.
I can understand. I understand why people did not particularly care for this one.
Right.
And this was by Egad Pitt. It was the name of the guy who did it.
And we'll link
there
to both
was
of these.
There was one other piece of Machinima that we didn't talk about, that we didn't write down here.
Oh, there was?
And that was the Half-Life 2 fanfic Machinima.
Oh, that's ancient.
I know, but it's brilliant.
It really is.
And we
wait, which one are you talking about?
The one about Gordon Freeman's brother,
John Freeman.
John Freeman.
I haven't seen it.
It's on YTMND.
You're the man now, dog.
Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely hilarious.
It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
And it's just read out loud by a guy who's trying desperately not to break into laughter as he reads it.
But the thing is that the fanfic was evidently written by somebody like 9 or 10 years old. and so it's hilarious.
Yeah, we'll put up a link to that too. That's worthwhile.
Did y'all hear that call-in where Gordon called into a radio show?
I did.
No,
oh
I
my
did not.
God, that was so awesome. It was like
like a morning talk show or something.
No, it's Coast to Coast AM is what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
with George Norrie.
Yeah, and the guy calls
I don't know
in
that guy.
and he's pretending to be Gordon Freeman and saying, there's this guy, he's following me. He's in a blue suit. He's like
At his work.
Yeah, at my work. And
Every time I try to get near him,
he's just not there. And the guy's just like, yeah, that sounds really interesting. Does he think he's like a government guy or
Coast to Coast AM is,
I don't know what that is.
It's a late night talk show. You know George Bell? Are you familiar with George Bell at all?
Cricket.
Okay. There is a whole subculture of these tinfoil hat wearing, paranormal people.
Moon landing deniers.
The people who think that there are lizards that run the government,
people.
And stuff like that. And Coast to Coast AM is the home for all things paranormal. If you want to talk about your ghost story or your lizards or your UFOs, you call Coast to Coast AM, which, while you're driving down the road in the middle of the night, it's great listening, but it's total crap. Did you ever play the game Prey?
Yeah.
The radio show that was being played in the background when you would come across TVs or radios and you would hear the phone. That's what that was. That was Coast to Coast AM.
Okay.
That's funny.
Huh. Okay. Well,
we also got a donations update, I guess.
Donations.
We have had a few donations, and we appreciate those greatly.
Yes. We cannot describe how influential our listeners are in helping us make sure we're putting out a good product.
Yeah.
And we got one from someone that we just got their name, and so I don't know if they want their name said, but I would like to get their game name.
Yes.
To give you some props for that. So if you could send that in, and I'll email you as well and see if we can get that. We got the artist for Jackablades and Industrial Revolutionary, who is going to be sponsoring the new server, which is the fun server, and he's making the message of the day page for it that you'll see when you log into it. That's not active at the moment. It is up, so you can actually go in there and play, but it's just the basic.
But
5.
it's not fun.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not fun.
No
yet.
fun to be had. None.
But
we do have some cool plans for it, though.
And when we mean fun, we're meaning low gravity,
Crazy.
Possibly.
silly maps.
Maybe everyone has a jetpack.
24/7 Mario Kart, baby.
Eric and I have been talking about trying to get the config files, because you can put config files for separate maps.
Mm-hmm.
So to change those things on different maps, like maybe jetpacks only on Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Can we
things like that.
config Mario Kart to only last a finite amount of time?
I don't know. We could take the map, decompile it,
yeah.
put that in, and then which is
Because it
something we
runs
might want to do.
indefinitely, right? Because it's a deathmatch.
Well, another thing you could do is put a control point outside the map so the players can't actually get to it, but
Then you could cheat real quick. And then
you can put a timer on that control point, and if
I'm
nobody
sure.
gets
I
it,
mean, I'm sure in Hammer you could put like a round time limiter on it. Or
Yeah, there's
kill
a
count limiter.
basically a plugin that someone made for putting that in your maps, because he was sick of so many people making maps without it.
Yeah.
That you just take that and put it in, and it puts in a 30-minute hard time.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll get that fun server funified, and that'll be fun.
Fun.
and you people who want to have fun, you stay off our normal servers. You kids, get off my lawn.
And now Brent here what are we changing our donations page a little bit?
Yeah, well, we were talking about it because we're worried about getting a bunch of like new servers up, and all of a sudden we have like 20 control point servers.
Yeah.
That's probably a little overestimation, but the point is there. So what we're probably going to do is, if you want an actual server put up and certain conditions on it, we'll have an email where you can talk to us directly, and we can work on that together. And we'll just leave the buttons on the page, probably change the text so everybody will know, but they'll just be donation amounts.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions about that anyway, so that'll work out really well. And we've got 3 more days before we air, so we could still get some donations in before then. But right now we're about halfway towards what we need to get the new studio set up. And if you can drop a couple bucks our way, we'd really appreciate it.
And thank you, everybody who has.
Yay!
Thank you.
So now,
moving on.
Reconnaissance.
Dun 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 dun
This is
dun
where
dun
we
dun
talk
dun.
about gravel pit.
Gravel pit. Do 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 gravel pit.
Wow, we just made up a
What is?
Did you plan that?
No, that was
just
bizarre.
happened?
Oh my god, you guys are like Siamese twins that are connected
We are
at
of
the
one
soul.
musical mind.
Yeah.
Hey, Gravel Pit's one of my favorite maps.
That's one of my
Mine
favorites
too.
too.
Do you like it, Eric?
I do. I like it more than I like. Well, let's see. I guess it's my second. No, it's my third favorite
What's your
of the valves. You know, of
Okay,
course.
go ahead. What's your favorite?
My favorite is Dust Bowl.
And what's your second favorite?
Second would be either. Dang.
Come on, say it.
Granary.
Wrong.
It's either Granary or Two Fort. I like Two Fort.
Well, Gravel Pit's probably my
And
favorite.
Gravel Pit
map.
is good.
So Gravel Pit's kind of like your 4th favorite.
Maybe
You got
yeah.
Two Fort.
Well, and it's
wh-
only because I played it a lot, and
So-
I need to take a rest from
Okay.
that map. You know
So
what I mean?
basically, you like Gravel Pit more than Hydro and Well.
Dang it! I think I like Well better.
Oh my
Well,
god.
see, it changes. It's the frequency of play, right?
So
You
other
play-
than Hydro, this is your least favorite map.
You know, if you
I
can't be
guess so.
consistent, if you can't be consistent on the issues, how can we trust you as president of the United States of America?
And really, I think it's because we haven't been able to play Hydro that much on the server.
I resign. That way, I have more time to play Gravel Pit.
Hey Wes, do you want to do your little thing?
Sure. Okay. Gravel Pit is a 3 capture point map. The basic idea is that there are 2 capture points that must both be captured by the attacking team before the 3rd capture point can be taken. In this case, they are labeled A, B, and C with clear delineations to help you get to your spots. A and B are, like I said, each has to be captured before the attacking team can attack C. So defense will be required to hold off attacks on both points. This is at the beginning, I think a lot of people tried to defend both heavily.
Yeah.
Nowadays, most people put a token defense on one and then heavily defend the other. And in most cases, the heavy defense goes on point B. And the reason is it's the most easy to defend.
Yep.
A has a lot of attack points. There's a lot of blind spots. And if a Pyro gets in, there's no way to get out for the most part.
Right.
Once you start getting burned on point A, you're probably going to die. Point B, like I said, it tends to be the one that is defended the most. A lot of people say even to just not defend A at all.
I tend to fall into that category into that. I mean, I like to put one or two people at A just to, put up a token like resistance that'll slow them down a little bit, but they're going to take A.
You know what I like doing is all scouts go to A, everyone else go to B. That way, if the scout
on offense
rush,
or defense?
Offense. Offense. That way, if the scout rush fails, that's okay because everyone else is at B.
Yeah,
I kind of wrote out my strat for gravel pit on here as the general strat, but it's kind of long, so I don't know.
For it.
But basically, what I like to do is if I'm on defense, is to have basically a support team that basically their job is to go between A and B in that tunnel. Put like a token defense up on A, but have this support Harriers group that they start at A, because usually you only get a couple people that jump out there, kill them, then come to B, and now you're behind the attackers. And you usually want like pyros and medics and scouts, like maybe even just have those three.
Yeah.
I like that. I know I have seen you build a sentry right there on as an attacker, you go out the A exit and you turn to the right. I've seen you building sentries on that right-hand exit into point A. I have destroyed your sentry there.
I'm not sure where. I mean, I'm sure I have. I just
actually
sure.
on.
You're talking about defense, right?
Yeah, I was talking defense.
Yeah.
Are you talking defense?
Yeah. I'm talking about if I was an attacker, I came out the door to A, turned to the right, and there was your sentry right there.
I really like that.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I really like that sort of like a fire team idea of like one group that is constantly harrying the offense. But I mean, generally speaking, when I'm getting a defense going, A is going to get taken, and it's going to get taken pretty quickly. Almost always. I mean, there are cases where you can harry them to the point where they won't take it, but I still think smart teams are going to hit A first because it's easier to take. So B should just be your line in the sand, sort of.
And I like to hold A in the back pocket.
Yeah.
I like to go full force B and take it. And if we're running low on time, to go take A. Because if they did have defense there, usually they will have,
I'll switch
left
it
that
up.
defense and send it over to B.
I'll switch it up. I don't want anybody to know. Sometimes I'll say, hey, let's go take A and go ahead and get it out of the way and get that time extension. Sometimes it's worth it just to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it always is. I mean, I know that gives a degree of.
I have held people off of A before.
You can hold people off of A, but generally speaking, when the forces are divided between A and B, the easier one to take is A.
Well, yes.
And so, as soon as you take A, I mean, I guess it. Never mind. I can't put my thoughts together straight. But
when I'm playing on defense, I'll send a couple of people to A. Usually, I'm a demo man, and I'm a prime example of who to send to A. Because what I can do is I can go and I can sticky up the inside of the ceiling, and then I can get out of sight. And those scouts can kind of pop in and sit on the base, and I'll wait for one or two of them to get there, and then I'll blow them. And then I'll go back up, and I'll re-sticky it, and I'll hide again. Those kinds of token defenses that will, or one engineer with a cleverly placed sentry. These little tiny things that will keep scouts from just taking the point lickety split, I think make a big difference in not making a cheap cap.
If you can knock 2 minutes off their cap time, that's a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, and the further you get from that, the more time you take off, the better.
Right.
So
because as long as they're still sending some people to A, their full force won't be attacking B.
Right.
And as long as you're doing that, you can,
And that's why on offense, I like to, let's send the whole force.
Yep.
But I guess, are we talking defense now?
I really think that primarily we're going to talk defense and then offense's responses to the defense.
I agree, because offense is generally, the tricks that you have with offense are the same tricks you have anywhere, and where the map shines is as a defensive map, as a unique situation. Offense, you don't want to split your force too much. You want to continually harry the defenders to prevent them from getting up a solid defense. You want to hit a point fast and hard. They're generally the same things that you do on any map, but defense has got a little bit more of a cerebral edge to it.
Well, I like to... I'll talk about this now then, since it might not come up then. For offense, I think one thing that people miss a lot that I think is really good on this map is sending feints. Just making people think you're going somewhere you're not. And what I like to do on this map is send maybe one medic and a soldier to B, send the rest of the team through A, bypass A going through C, maybe let an engineer set up a sentry there, and then come in from the back way to B. It's not as expected.
Last time that we played in a sort of a clan scrim with you, you tried that, and it really didn't do much for you. I'm not saying it's not ever effective, but I thought, oh, wow, that's clever. Well, just hit him there instead. That's kind of what we did. And
the only time I've done that thing, we steamrolled the map, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys came through there, and you did eventually win, but it wasn't because of that.
Most of the time, I think, when you're attacking B, where you attack from doesn't matter as much, because the defenses on B tend to be the same regardless.
Pretty much.
The only difference
I disagree completely, because people are always looking at the holes. They're waiting for people to come out there. The sentries are set up a certain way, and if you come from behind, you just disrupt the whole flow of people coming to help from C. You disrupt the flow of people coming through A to C.
I think you can, but I'm not sure that you do. Does that make sense?
Most of the defenses are set up in the room itself, and it doesn't matter where you come from on that.
The only thing
I think it completely does. The best way to do it is get a soldier up there on the top, and if the soldier up there is not looking behind him, he's off there immediately from the forces, and you're waiting for people to come through the front door. Your sentries are usually set up that way. Well, then
your entire offense is built around the team not paying attention. And trust me, pretty quickly, hey, they're coming through A and they're not hitting us, they're going to come around back. If a defense has any good communication at all, you're not going to surprise them that way. That's what I'm saying. If you can all go into stealth mode and not be seen by anyone on your way through A, then yeah, you can. But the radio moves faster than you do. That's kind of my point.
I think we should get the mods and make that happen.
Make the people move
Attackers
faster
are invisible.
But it is, that is one kind of interesting thing that you can do is, try and go at things from different angles. I personally think that offense gets the most fun once A and B are taken, and the final assault on C can be a lot of fun.
Well, let's talk about that in a minute. Let's
Never mind.
Yeah. Let's talk. Why don't we go in order? Let's talk about A a little bit. Are there any valid, solid defenses of A that you can think of? I see a lot of people will build sentries in that little shack, and I'm going to give directions in term of the attackers. As you're going up the hill on the left to get to A, that shack that's just there on the right as you get to the top. Some people will build sentries in there, but soldiers and demomen can take those things out so easy.
Well, it's not even pointing towards the cap.
I know, but it'll get the random people that are charging up the hill.
Yeah,
I think that's a bad place. The only place I've seen really good for a sentry is either, down low as they're coming out the holes. If you've got some defense, you can keep them pretty bottled up, or up by the point against the wall, kind of getting either way. But either way is still.
And
there is a spot that right in front of the control point, but not in the building, that's a decent spot to handle scout rushes.
True.
And it's your sentry is not going to last that long, but it will completely break that first offensive rush, which is usually the big danger for point A.
Yes.
Is that first rush. So I think that there are good sentry spots there. Just don't depend on them for the rest of the game because they're not going to last that long.
The problem is the building in A is so open that I think that any offensive class can destroy a sentry in there rather easily.
No, I'm not saying in the building.
Oh, I know. I'm saying,
okay.
I'm continuing with my argument that I don't think there's a safe sentry position that has a good chance of being easily defended because, rockets can destroy it from almost anywhere in the whole zone.
Yeah.
So I
snipers can hit them. I mean,
yeah,
you're right. Like I said, I think that sentries on point A are generally going to serve the function of breaking an initial rush, and that's it, because they're not going to last very long. Now, are we moving on to B with sentries real quick? Because
I like to put a sentry up there by the door.
Let's finish.
Last long, but.
Let's finish talking about A just in general. Now, I usually just head straight up the sides. I usually don't dally in the middle.
No, there's no reason to. I mean, you're open to fire in the middle, and if you run up the side, you can get up there very quickly.
So, I mean, does anybody have any strategies about using that middle space for anything valuable?
The middle space is a killing zone. I always stay out of it.
Okay. But it's got those buildings all in the way.
There's health and ammo there if you really need it, but...
And there's actually a middle-sized health right underneath the cap point.
Yeah.
And a couple of
That's a very important health to remember because it can really help out.
Yeah, I'll go in my demo man defense strategy, that's what I'll do. I'll go and hide in that little building and then detonate it when they get up there. So we covered A? Are we done?
I think between A and B, those hallways there, those are good places for sentries.
What about teleporters for A? Any good spots?
Well, I mean
inside the shacks, maybe.
For defense, I don't like teleporters to A because it usually does. No matter what you put there, it usually does go pretty fast.
Yeah,
so it's kind of wasted.
That little shack in between C and A.
Except that's like the prime place for for offenders to jump in and get out of fire. So it's not going to last long there.
Yeah,
either.
but the people who are charging up, I don't see many people stopping and looking in that room. I think it's a good place for a teleporter exit or directly underneath.
For defense?
Yes.
I mean, because what you're going to have is people using it and trying to get to B, and all of a sudden they're like, I'm in A,
Well,
I mean, you're going to communicate that, but
generally what I do is if I'm building a teleporter exit to A, I make sure it's to the right side of the spawn. When you come out of the spawn to the right,
that's a good tip. Yeah,
that's a good idea. Yeah.
What I'll put teleporters to A go to the right side of the spawn. Teleporters to B go on the left side of the spawn.
Yeah.
I still generally think that teleporters to A are a waste of time.
About the only thing is if you have the metal, do it just in case you need to build your gun up real fast, and you can blow it and use the metal from it to build fix your sentry.
It's too open for the most part. There may be a place here and there where you can get away with it for a little while, but I still don't think you can depend on it for a very long time.
I think it's a good place if you are a lone engineer taking care of A, and you want to keep control of the spot, and having a little teleporter set up is a good idea.
Okay,
I can see that.
It's
like a last resort.
I hold by the fact that A is not going to last long enough for it to really be a big point.
That's because you're a pessimist.
But if you can hold it off 30 more seconds by having that teleport exit there, I'm all for it.
You're half full of crap.
So
now what might be a good idea, think about this though, you're going to be losing that point. Why not put the teleporter in the hallway from C to A, like in the back, the elbow?
Yeah.
And that way you can go right there and start building a gun, getting ready for them to either go through that way or later, and just slow them down a little more.
Yeah. I think engineers overlook those hallways too often.
I think that the sharp corners in those rooms and the ability to the length of the hallways with regard to the exits make it difficult to defend sentries in there from soldiers.
Okay, let me get this clear right now. I think it's almost impossible to defend sentries just about anywhere on the entire map except for point C. I think that sentries, their purpose is a speed bump, because as a defender your entire goal is to drop the time down to 0, and so anything you can do to harry an offense that's pushing towards a point, even if it doesn't last that long is still working toward your goal.
Agreed, but I think that there are better places that you can put a sentry that will be more easy to defend against incoming traffic.
Whatever.
So
Whatever.
Let's talk about B. Everybody's favorite
Talk about
point on
B,
this.
baby. All right, sorry.
BB. I think this is one of almost everyone's favorite places on this map. Actually, defending this place can be a lot of fun. A successful B defense feels like a real victory.
And unless you're playing offense, and then you just feel like crap. Like, oh my God, how did I just waste 10 minutes trying to take that freaking point? I never shot the demo man that was on top of the building. What's wrong with me?
Man, I spend so much time lobbing grenades up on the top of that building.
I have gotten to the point where I'm, in general, that has absolutely zero effect on my ability to go on offense.
Yeah.
Because it's the only time I'll ever pick sniper anymore.
It's to kill the people on the roof.
Yeah, and it always works because they're never paying that much attention.
And just so people know, you can get onto the roof of Point B in Gravel Pit if you are a demo jumping. You're a demo, or you do a soldier rocket jump, or if you have lots of time and you're an engineer.
And please don't do it in squad matches.
There's a video on YouTube that shows you how to build a teleporter up to the top of B, and it's a legitimate thing, but it takes a little over a minute.
It's a lot of work, and I mean that thing's not going to last very long.
It takes a little over a minute, and if a strong attack comes in and forces itself onto B, that teleporter is not going to do you a bit of good.
Okay. Yeah, I like putting sentries on the far side of the building on defense.
Yes.
Personally, I like them there because I think offense generally doesn't pay much attention to that area, and there's some health and ammo over there that it can really kind of, I need health and ammo. I'll just go over, oh my God, I'm dead because I didn't have any health or ammo, and there's a sentry there.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people will do laps around the building.
Yeah.
Specifically
demo men
because what'll happen is there'll be an oncoming B traffic that's too much, and somebody will run out the door like on one side and then try to wrap around the building and grab some health and ammo and come in the other side.
Yeah.
And I agree with your sentry gun thing. Now, I don't usually do it because if I'm playing soldier, it's because there aren't many engineers in the game. I mean, wait. If I'm playing engineer, it's because there aren't many engineers playing.
I agree.
And
I generally, I mean, I'm a big heavy player. I really think heavies are very, very effective on B. Very effective.
They are.
Because you can move around and evade demo men that are lobbing grenades into the building through the windows. And if you lay low enough, they'll think it's empty. And then you have a clear shot. They almost always come up all together one of the ramps.
Right.
Which is a good point for offense. If you're going to storm the building on B, split your force. Go up one half up one side, one half up the other.
Because that way also, if they're retreating, you get to mop up the pieces of them that are left.
And one soldier on top, or demo man.
Yeah. But a heavy, if you just have a whole bunch of people kind of one way, he's going to slay them all.
I like doing offensive engineer on that one and trying to get the sentry under the shelf coming from C.
God, I hate that.
Because there's a nice little ammo dump right there.
Just to let people know what it is, right under the entry to B from point C, there is a shaded spot that is underneath the walkway there.
It's a good place for a picnic.
It is a good place for a picnic on a very sunny day. Anyway, if you put a sentry under there, a lot of times the defenders will just come running by it, not understanding where the sentry is. And even when they finally do, it's hard for them to get a good angle on it. They have to go to A and go through the caves and come around to get an angle on it without being shot by it.
Yeah.
I like hiding as a pyro under the big concrete hallways.
Yeah, that's a good place.
Yeah,
to be.
right where they're leading from Blue's spawn, and you can just kind of hide down there. You could build a sentry down there. I guess I've seen people do it, but usually me and a few other pyros just kind of hang out down there and then wait for them to jump out. And
It's a surprisingly nasty sentry spot. Even as now with an Uber, you'll take it out instantly.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, sometimes with the sentry sitting in other places, even an Uber will have trouble taking it out. But an Uber will have that one pretty simply. But even as a demo man, I have a really hard time getting the stickies at an angle where it'll be near enough to the sentry gun to destroy it without
seeing it,
without getting hit.
Yeah.
So,
and now you can get into that hallway, I guess, as a double jumping scout or rocket jumping or sticky bomb if you wanted to spawn sweep or spawn camp the blue side. I guess an NG could do that too with enough work, right?
Yes.
NGs in front of the doors, like when you're coming out. Yeah, I mean, you have enough time, and if you book it in preset and you know where all the ammo is, to get up to at least a level 2, if not, if you push it to level 3 up there.
It's not a
double jump down.
Yeah, it's not a bad strategy. Usually the defenses that are set up outside the doors to blue spawn are usually taken down pretty quick. But if nothing better, you can slow down that original push and demoralize them a little bit. Right. Other sentry placements coming into B from the left side, there is that little shack, and a lot of times people put sentries directly behind that shack facing to the right. And that will get people that are just popping out.
I don't generally like that spot.
I've gotten some good results from it before.
I think that it's very situational, though. I mean, under most circumstances, you're not going to see a whole lot of offense traffic through that area until B is already taken.
But you'll also manage to hit people that are running, that have taken the right exit, that are running from any defensive forces that are over there. If they're getting beaten down too badly, they'll retreat back to the cave to A, and in the process get shot.
That's a good point. I personally, I think that you could probably find a better place in most circumstances, though. Just because one thing, I mean, we're not getting across here. We're making it sound like it's really easy to defend B, and it's not. It's a very brutal, bloody defense, and a lot of times you're going to have a lot of dead bodies. And that's how offense will eventually take B, is by grinding down the defenders to the point that there just aren't any people still there, and you have to wait for spawn timers for them to get back. So...
Yeah. I think
it is possible to misapply your resources on B.
I think a neat thing about B is that there's 3 health packs really close to the point, so it can last a long time.
Yeah,
you just have to get off the point, make one lap around the building, and you've already picked up 3 packs.
Yeah.
There's one sentry gun placement that a lot of people choose that I think is a very poor choice. As you come in from the right side of the spawn, so you're coming up the ramp and you're looking into, not the spawn, to cap point B.
You mean the cubbies?
There's one cubby that I don't think anyone should ever choose, and that's the one on the left.
Which side is that on? Is that on the side?
Okay, I'm an attacker.
Facing the caves, or
as you're looking at the cubbies?
Yes, as you're looking at the 2 cubby holes in point B, the one on the left has that window right next to it.
They both have windows right next to them.
Yes, but that means somebody has to get around to the back of the building to shoot in that other window. Okay, which is rare. But as a demo man, I can run in the left entrance to B, and all I got to do is scoot. I don't even have to get very close, and I can lob grenades right in that window, and they will sit in that cubby and blow up what's ever there. And I just sit there and drop them in, and I'll blow up what's ever there, and I've not gotten anywhere near the building.
Yeah.
So I've never put a sentry here, but it always seems to do really well when I'm attacking and it's there. But on that ramp, coming from the front side, from where the big rock is sitting in the middle of the yard, from that side, a sentry right there on the top of that ramp. It seems like you can't get out enough to hit it.
No, there's no cover there, really. You can't really drop out of cover to hit that, so it can be tough. Generally, the only way to get around a really well-entrenched sentry there is a Uber rush.
Yes, and I will see a lot of people, if you can get the attack or the defenders down so that there's not any attackers to the right of the rock defending that hallway, then a lot of times some soldiers can chain peeking out and shooting rockets at it and get it down pretty quick.
Yeah.
But what'll happen is people put a sentry at the top of that ramp, and then they'll build a dispenser in the corner behind it, and that helps. Other good sentry placements, like I said, the right cubby is good. Now, what we did the last time I played today and we defended B, we had a sentry in the right cubby and a sentry in each of the opposite corners. So, and they were all facing in the middle. That way, if a spy ever came in there and stabbed a engineer, it got taken care of. But with the three of us engineers running around and a good defense outside the point to make people pop their Ubers before they got into the shack, we held off the defense, and it was a pretty impressive thing. But I'm not convinced that it's basically it ended up at one point where probably a good third to a half of their team had to go spy to try to get our sentries down. I'm not kidding.
That's always frustrating.
It was spies a pyro, spies a medic, spies this, spies that.
You've already seriously demoralized the other team when that starts happening.
When they all go spy. Yes, we knew that.
Yeah, but
now,
do we have anything else to say about B?
Oh, I've got lots to say about B.
Well,
okay. Anyway, getting up on the roof, a couple of neat things. You up on the roof of B, you'll be a victim to snipers a lot. So if you are up on the roof, make sure that you're paying attention to that. When you're looking at the two entrances from the blue spawn, the one on the right.
Yeah,
you need to make sure you're keeping that hallway well suppressed, or a sniper will get down there and just start picking off everybody.
And honestly, that is the best thing the offense can do against that situation, because even if you do have a soldier or a demo man that's paying really close attention to that, it's really easy to, if you're smart about it, to pick them off anyway.
Yep.
Because all you have to do is not worry about that rocket coming towards you, because you can get out of the way. Demo men can be a little bit tougher if they're being smart about their stickies, but honestly, if they're busy stickying that hallway, they're not stickying the point beneath them.
Yeah.
And you can always utilize your own team members getting blown up to take care of that, and then pop out and shoot the demo man real quick. That is why I don't think that getting up on the roof there is really exploitive, because there is a really effective counter for it.
Yeah, I think it's actually better for the the offense to get up there.
Yes, if you can get offensive forces up onto that roof, it can be devastating. Defensive people, I found the best way to handle that is don't run around a lot on the front of the building. You want to run around on the back. So if you're popping your head out, you want it to be from behind that little steeple that's on top there.
Yeah, of course, the less of your body you show to the sniper, the better off you are.
Demos should always keep stickies on the cap points in general, but especially if you're on the roof up there, you need to make sure that the cap point below you is stickied. You are going to run out of ammo eventually. I know.
Unless that engineer took a long time to get a dispenser up there.
Yes, which is very, very rare. I imagine a heavy on the roof would be really nasty with a dispenser next to him.
Nice.
Anyway, the key with C, the key of C, get it? Okay, so it wasn't that funny.
Weak jelly.
I know. Green jello. Anyway. Is that this is a race against the clock. And a lot of the points I'm going to bring up, I'm going to take some of my major pointers from Rasputin's Gravel Pits Tactics version 1.0.
Holy crap. Is he starting an encyclopedia?
He is. And this isn't even the beta version. This is 1.0.
Mm-hmm. Wow. He's released.
Yes.
Wow.
So anyway, the first key concept that he mentions is that it is a race against the clock. The attackers in general are going to be able to swarm over your defenses. There's going to be too many of them. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Your goal is just to hold off long enough. And anything that you can do to slow them down from taking point C is going to be valuable. His second major point is that sentries are not the primary defense. It might seem that way.
They can be. They don't have to be, though.
I disagree. I do not think. I think he's right. I do not think they're the primary defense.
Well, okay. Let me clarify. I don't think that any one class can successfully hold C. I think it requires a combination, and I think that a few good sentries in places that you may not immediately think of are key to winning.
I think sentry. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I think the problem with sentries on that one is you need too many to actually do it effectively. You need basically one per entrance to really hold it down, or you can kind of stop one entrance if you do it in A. Keep
and
a
with
sentry
5
there.
entrances, I mean, it's really hard.
Again, and like I said, I don't think that they're key to that by themselves. I think that sentries on a couple of entrances can funnel the offense in a different direction.
I will postulate that sentry guns are to kill the people who get cocky. That's what I think they're there for.
May I make a counter thesis?
Yes.
My consideration of the sentry guns on point C of this map in which we are discussing currently is that they are great. I wouldn't say cocky. I'd say
keep the voice.
They are absolutely fantastic for taking off individual people who attempt to scale the tower in one way or another. Now, they are not under any circumstances going to stop some. Can I stop doing the voice?
Yes.
And they're not ever going to stop a concerted offensive push. But honestly, that point caps so fast that you don't necessarily need a concerted offensive push to take it. If one or two people can get up there very quickly and screw up your entire day, and a sentry can stop that from happening.
That sounded like Sean Connery.
What, your mother?
I banged your mother. Anyway, well, what I think sentries mainly do on that map is, let's say, I'm an attacker and I get into a firefight with someone else. And then in order to get out of that fight, I run too quickly in a particular direction.
And then you get nailed.
And I get hit by a sentry.
Yeah.
I think it's there for the people who are straying. I don't think they're as good at defending against people as they are against mopping up the strays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just give you an example.
Okay.
If you put a sentry next to the entrance from B, those two little shacks that people can enter in.
Yes.
That sentry does two things. One, three things. Let me start over. No one expects a Spanish Inquisition. No
one expects a third point.
Number one, they draw fire.
Yes.
And that takes up time.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, they can prevent people from coming in from B altogether. Honestly, a lot of attackers will see that there's a sentry here waiting to pick you off, and they're just going to go the different way. That way, you control that entrance. Now, you can't no longer pay any attention to it because someone could still come through, but it does help control the entrance. Number three, the left or the right side of the tower, or one side of the tower, if they climb up the long way, they're going to get nailed by that sentry gun the whole time. And I don't think that sentry guns are the bee's knees in defense, but I do think that they are an important part of defense.
I agree. I'm not arguing that they aren't important.
You're telling me that no one should ever use sentry guns ever. You're telling me that engineers suck.
He did this to me today.
I know. You were telling me about that. I think that
I think that is probably one of the best places for a sentry.
I think over by B is really good. It slows it down. Even over on the
ramp
A
up
side,
on A side is great. It's another great side.
The ramps up on A and B side both help. I believe that a sentry on the ground closest to the entrances from A but facing towards point C.
I don't know. I think that on the ground right in front of
spawn.
Defender's spawn is great. I mean, it controls the entire ground.
It does. I tend to see that one getting taken out a lot more, though.
Again, it draws the clock down.
Yeah.
One of the things I like doing on offense there, especially when they do have sentries in those areas, is coming from A, going the long way downstairs, and you can get from that door to the up ramp pretty fast, and there's no sentries there.
That is usually the least used entrance to that area in the whole map.
And if you're not a demo man or a soldier, that could possibly be the only way you should be going.
Yeah, I agree.
That where you go from A through the tunnels, you take a left, and then you go down that ramp, and it takes you to the floor of C. And I think that's one of the least used entrances.
Yeah, and it's hard to notice for defenders too.
And I don't look to it for defenders. Yeah. Now, in defense, it is vitally important that close exit from A to C is heavily guarded and protected.
Yes, in fact, one of the best defense methods on point C, and like I said earlier, I consider the tunnels to be part of C, is send in a fire team into those tunnels, and just suppress.
And the main
a couple of pyros and a soldier can control.
And I don't think that can be stressed enough. I mean, this map is defense is offense at C. Once you get to C, you need an offensive team that keeps them back from the C area.
And one of the main reasons is that it is very, very easy to rocket or sticky jump up to the top of C, especially from that point.
How many times have you and I done that together, Wes?
Love it.
He plays a demo and he stickies up, and I rocket jump up there, and then we just control game over right there.
I mean, it's just and there's nothing quite like that joy of flying through the air all the way across C and seeing that control point coming there, and you're like, yeah!
And that one engineer giving you the crap look as the rocket's coming towards him.
He pulls out his shotgun, Anyway, it's and it's so quick and easy for certain classes to get up to the top of C that you can't count on it, and it's a quick cap.
You got it.
C is a much faster cap than A or B.
You got to keep people up there that are not engineers. You got to keep a pyro up there.
Yep.
You got to keep a heavy up there. You got to keep something that can deal a lot of damage at close range and soak up damage.
And
too.
Soldiers, that top level of C is really good for one or two soldiers because they can stand up there and keep many different exits with some suppressing fire.
Yeah.
And once you see which exit they're coming to, like if they're coming from A, it's really easy to rocket jump from that ledge. There's a light right above that door that you can actually stand on.
Yep.
And you can rocket jump to it and just wait for them to come out. And they never look up.
No, they don't.
Until you kill them a few times.
It is very difficult to keep sentries alive on this level, on this stage. It's going to be a lot of work, and you're going to be running around.
Didn't you say that?
I said I think that it's easier to keep well-defended sentries on C than it is on B or A.
Really?
Yes.
I absolutely disagree.
I see it happen all the time specifically because there are so many entrances that a sentry can pass unnoticed for longer before it starts doing a lot of damage.
Well, but once it's known, then I think it is much harder to kill a known sentry in the right cubby of B than it is anywhere on any point in C. Sentries will not live next to the cap point because everybody's going to be throwing grenades up there.
I don't know. I've seen some heavy. I have seen some very effective heavy engineer defenses with like 4 sentries up on the cap point.
Really?
Oh yeah. There's you get a pyro up there to take care of anyone that gets up close without being seen. I mean spies. I should just say spies because everyone knows what that is.
Brent's over there with a wrinkled brow going, yeah. Yeah,
I'm not saying it works all the time, but I've seen it work, and it's a lot of fun to be one of those engineers when it does work.
Now, one thing I will do as an engineer is a lot of times now that B and A have been abandoned, I will make my teleporter exit go to the top of C, so that if any soldiers or anything need to get up to the top of C, as a demo man, I will always try to sticky cap point C, and you can do it from anywhere in the room. Yeah. If you're running up either of the ramps, you just look up at point C, and if you angle it right, you can put a bunch of stickies right on the cap point without leaving the ground.
Speaking of teleporters, I think this is something that gets overlooked by some engineers sometime. Once a point has been taken, go ahead and detonate your teleporter that goes to that point, because there is nothing more frustrating than, hey, there's a teleporter here. I wonder if it'll take me up to the tower on C. And then all of a sudden you're sitting in front of B going, oh my God.
Ghost town.
And if you come out and see a teleporter, see which way the arrow's pointing.
Yeah.
And another thing with teleporters and engineers in general on offense, once you're to C, a great place to get set up is in the hallways from B. Is you're looking towards B from C, the one on the left. The first one coming from the defense respawn. There's a back little hideaway closet thing that you can. Oh wait, no, it's the other one. Sorry.
Wait, hold on. Okay, start over.
It's the one on the right, because, sorry.
Strike that. Reverse it.
We all get one a show.
As an
right?
attacker, you're going from B to C. Which door do you go in, left or right?
Left.
Left. And then you go in and then take a left and you put it on the left?
No. As you come in to that little shack, you will have a door on your left and then a little closet on your right.
Yeah, he's right. That is a good place to go set it.
And I like putting the gun right in the doorway.
Okay.
And that way it can hit both sides of that room, both entrances. Put your teleporter and dispenser back in the closet.
And if you control that room, then you've got a really good start-off point.
Okay.
Because generally, defenses are going to focus more on the hallways in front of, A?
Yeah, and that is one of the easiest places to rocket jump up. Because even coming from A, it's like you can either get really good at rocket jumping and get all the way up there, or you have to jump off to the building.
I always jump off to the building. I've got it down to a science. It's just running leap, boom, I'm up. So suck it.
Now, on the Rasputin document.
Alternate ways.
Oh, the Rasputin document?
Yes. He says that you should set up control areas. And you should actually divvy out sides of the map to individual players. And that's not a bad idea. You know, like say, okay, you two Pyros and you Soulja, you make sure you harry from A to C, and you two guys take from B to C. And that's not a bad idea. That way you don't end up with any subconscious holes.
Kind of like the fire team.
I think we're finding more and more that the more we play, the better organized a team is, and with the better defined roles, generally the better you do. So that's a good overall tip as well.
And that's pretty much it for the Rasputin document. I think we've covered.
I see something that's just kind of general. I see communication is key, and report what you see. That rhymed. But, always report what you see. If you see a duo coming, an Uber, call it out. If you see a sentry in some spot, call it out. Very general stuff. So what are we doing now? Point D?
Yeah, point D, I think is very important for you to double jump.
Especially as a pyro.
Yeah.
And if you rocket jump, if you come from C through the left exit to D.
One thing to always remember when defending C, if people get on it, you need to get on it. Don't back up and try to shoot at people who are on the cap point. Because if you are on the cap point, you will be stopping their capture of it.
And this is every single cap point in the game.
But it seems to happen more to me on C than it does on A or B.
Well, on this map, but I'm saying in all capture maps, I mean, it's like Dust Bowl. How many times do you see people trying to, hold the second point from the outside while there's three people in there? And it's like, look, you get in there, and reinforcements will hopefully get there before they cap it.
Right.
So are you saying that even if you had 4 on the point, you want more than 4?
No, this is
people die?
If you're on defense and you're the only guy and there's 4 guys on there, even though you're going to die because there's 4 of them, usually, sometimes you won't. Get on that point because it stops the timer.
Right. Gotcha.
And C gets capped so quick, you don't have any time. You don't have a time for a mistake.
Right.
On A and B, you got some seconds. You can mess with it a little bit. Mm-hmm. But on C, you don't have the time.
C is a very intense point, I think.
And Demo Man, work on that jump to go straight from the respawn floor up to C.
Yeah, that's important.
The winged Demo Man.
Because you're like the last defense once, they've killed everything up there.
Well, what I'll do is if I hear anybody's up there, I'll immediately turn around and start shelling the area with grenades. I'll angle it. I'll just make sure that I've got grenades on there if there's anyone up there from the other team. What are you doing? What's that noise? Are we doing Daltone again?
Why don't you just sticky jump up there and stand on the point?
Because I could kill myself. I don't know.
Hey, I think that's it for what we got to say. We got some listener contributions. Oh wait, what are we doing next week?
We are doing Hydro.
I'm kind of looking forward to Hydro.
I am too.
I don't play it very much.
I don't either. We'll try to get heavy on the rotation.
A lot of people seem to not like it, and I don't know why.
I mean, there are a couple of points there that can really turn into serious standoffs that never end, but I think it's still fun.
And the reason why I don't like it, and maybe it just be my lack of understanding of how the map works, but to me it seems like the map almost never ends because it's like, unless it's like one team is steamrolling the other one, because it seems like you cap one and then they cap it back and you go back, and then it's just like a back and forth, and it just seems to take forever.
My only problem with the map, and I think this is small. Well, why don't we complain about it this week? We're going to say good things about it next week.
I'm going to be complaining about you.
My only complaint about the map is that I don't always know which version of the map I'm coming into when I spawn.
Hallelujah.
Because you walk out the door and the first thing you got to do is go, okay, that door's open and that door's open, so we're on this version of the map.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
A lot of just
Hey, you know what we're going to be doing next week? We're going to be talking about it. So let's move on to listener contributions.
Yeah.
Yay!
So we got this one from the forums.
We're trying something new here.
The best advice for Gravel Pit is to have a leader. It is the hardest map to get anything done by yourself. So if you don't have a leader, it is easy to let half the time run down before you even get to a point. So find someone your team will listen to and make that person be in charge.
And that was from DF7.
And make that person be in charge.
Thank you, Robot DF7.
Nice.
I think that's an excellent new thing we should do.
Let's see what else we got here.
We got a call in, but it's unusable because the call ends abruptly before the point was over.
So
sorry.
Who was that? Do you know?
Lupalicious
or
no. Oh,
Lollipop.
Lollipop.
Oh no!
Do I need to make some L words up over here?
LaRue.
Loopy LaRue. Yeah.
LaRue, sorry.
Yeah. So thanks for the call, but we can't use it. So do better
cut
next
off.
time.
I don't know if your phone cut off or if it was our fault or what. So I don't know.
But we love your name.
Wasn't.
We love your name. I've actually said that out loud while playing a game. I'm like, Loopy LaRue, that name rules.
Yep. Let's see.
Victory.
Hey, Mr.Eagle, who is one of our mods, and he made this really cool thing of these terrible briefcase skits that we do.
And they are terrible.
Yeah,
they really
it's
are.
like a compilation or a mashup of all these skits kind of put together. It's
He
humorous.
He put ones in that I'd completely forgotten about, and
Me
they're actually
too.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
So we're going to play that?
We'll play that after the episode.
Okay,
At the very
okay.
end, yeah.
Do we want to do that, or do we want to? He says it's a work in progress.
Well, then we'll keep playing it over and over and over again ad nauseum.
That sounds
Like
that
every
sounds
10
fun.
or so episodes, we'll do the new one.
Already a flashback episode. Wow.
Wow.
We're only number 16.
You remember back on episode 12 and
Remember that time
when
we were talking
Joni
about
got a
this
crush on Potsy?
Remember when we jumped the shark?
let's see. We got is this gonna okay, fine. Control Point song.
We do have, the Control Point song by Ash Williams. We asked
Oh,
Ash
my God.
Williams last week, episode 15, if he would write us a song because
And it was
apparently-
less asking and more making fun of him for not writing the song already.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was talking to him online, and I'm like, I can't believe you did this. I said, I gave you crap, and you turned it into gold.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Are we gonna play that song?
Yes, we are. Let's play it right now.
Every week I get on my computer. Well, I alt-tab from TF to Rather. Head over to DWP. A new podcast is waiting for me. Wes Wilson makes me so happy. Brenda Spencer, which would I prefer? And Derek, I guess he's okay. Just kidding. Actually. Eric is bringing back Smexy. I giggle when Brent saps my sentry. Spencer Crit rockets are always super. I feel naughty when Wes Wilson Ubers. Please tell me what is in the briefcase. It puts such a smile upon my face. Forever young inside my iPod. Control Point, home of TF2 gods.
Awesome. Gold.
That was
fantastic. Excellent.
Holy crap.
I like that I'm bringing back Smexy. And he feels dirty when you Uber, Wes.
Well, you know, I'm a dirty boy.
That was a great song.
That was definitely classic.
I feel like, I mean, Brent and I kind of got shafted. I mean, we just kind of got like offhand side noticed there. Like, I don't know which one I like
get
best.
A song just about
I can't imagine why anyone would think that about you guys.
Well, you know, now he's going to come back with a song just about you, too. And then he's going to throw me and Wes in the wayside.
He's sitting there going, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not doing another one of those.
And I have to tell you, the reason I gave him hell is because he wrote a song for Legendary Heroes podcast, which is Majachi the Moon Princess's podcast, and he was complaining. He goes, you know, I write all this original music and I make one stupid song for Legendary Heroes and it gets 1,000 downloads and my songs get like 5. So this is my next challenge to Ash Williams. I want him to put some of his original music linked from our forums because we're going to get more people to listen to his regular music. Yeah. But I did tell him that there were 2 easy ways to become musically famous. Mm-hmm. That was to be a Christian band.
Like Striper?
Well, famous in that sense is, you know,
matter
of degrees.
But my point is that all you've got to do is strum a guitar and be a Christian band and you'll get airplay.
Jesus.
Okay. Number 2 is if you're funny, which is what he did.
Right.
So he got famous, you know, real quick.
Right.
You know, and the third one is to be a cheap tart. But I don't think he can pull that one off.
Floozy?
Yes.
Floozalicious.
So you're challenging him to be a cheap tart?
No, I'm challenging him to link some of his music so that we can listen to it so that his efforts to make us laugh will be rewarded by us listening to his hard work.
Yay!
Yeah. So that was great. Thanks again.
We mentioned earlier we have a new server courtesy of, who is it?
I don't know whether to give his real name out.
Well, don't.
Who wants to give his real name out?
No, don't. Just have him post his music. He doesn't need to.
But he does the Jack of Blades and Industrial Revolutionary comics.
And
and we already said it, so I was like, what do y'all want from me?
He sponsored our new fun server, which, as we covered earlier, is not yet fun. So sorry about that.
Yeah, we'll have to fun it up a notch.
Yeah. And do we have any other contributions? Did we have any other call-ins? Did we have any other emails? Did we have any other stuff? No,
I don't
nothing.
think so.
You don't think we had anything?
There was one other thing.
Oh wait, Wes thinks we have one other thing. Hold on just a second.
There was the turret.
The
stuff.
other thing is the what?
The turret
you have
info.
to tell me what that is because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, we got. I don't know who put this in here. Nobody's fessed up to it, so I'm gonna read it because I think this is kind of fascinating. The turret's beep when it reaches the end of its sweep and it turns to start moving the other way.
I'm not sure that's accurate.
Well,
I'd want to test this.
I typed it there.
Do you believe it's true?
I don't know. I got it from the forums. Who knows what happens on there?
I put plenty of sentries down, and you just stand next to it, right? You never hear beeps. I mean, you know,
sentries
you're
definitely
no,
beep.
the sentries beep. They go.
Yeah, you
meep,
just aren't paying very close attention.
That's the way. If you're sneaking around, you can tell that there's a sentry nearby by listening for the beeps.
Oh, I'm thinking about the loud beep when it tracks something.
And you should be able to tell what level it is by the beep, supposedly.
Yes, that's the other
That is
thing.
true. That is true.
Yeah. Okay.
And the way a level 1 has a single beep, a level 2 has 2 beeps, and a level 3 has this odd little pattern of 3.
Okay.
Which I thought was kind of interesting. And I think that's legitimate. That's legitimate stuff. I mean, you hear a beep, let's say you're on 2 fort and you hear a sentry gun in there and you're worried that it's a level 2. You can listen to the beep and figure out what kind of sentry it is. And you can also find when it reaches the end of an arc. And that way you jump out into the room when it's at the end of an arc as opposed to in the middle.
Yeah.
I want to test that because it seems to me like it would be much easier from a programming point of view to just have a looping sound that isn't necessarily connected to the animation of the turret, but who knows?
If the animation started at the same time as the sound file,
and I imagine that might be like affected by lag or something.
It could be, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, I think that might very well.
And also you can tell how many sentries there are. Like if you're going in the basement of 2 fort and you hear 3 different beeps,
yes.
you know there's 3 sentries.
Yes, I do know. Yeah, I pay attention to that as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, good tips.
That's good stuff. There was some Badlands, the new map that's coming out.
concept
hopefully
art.
soon. There's some concept art up, and we'll link to that. And what is this G15 keyboard plugin? Because Eric and Brent and I all have the G15. So
there's a plugin that basically shows you like your class and what is it? Some stats and some
stats and how many kills, how many assists, and
that sounds worthless. It sounds absolutely worthless.
And how many people are dead, right? It shows how many people are alive and dead in the entire game.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Team.
Okay, okay.
And then it also shows you if someone's a spy or not. If you've got your gun pointed at them.
It does not. You're lying.
It helps you cheat.
But I bet he's going to get a lot more downloads now.
Yeah. But it's not done. Is it done? Because last time I looked at it, it was just a few screenshots, and he was working on it.
I don't know. I could spend 5 minutes looking at the link and see. But I'm going to let the listeners do that.
Yeah, we'll just toss a link out. We never mentioned like best places for sprays on these maps.
Oh, there's 2 places for sprays.
I mean, a spray is always best on a flat surface. So any flat surface kind of thing. If you're in Dust Bowl or any kind of warped kind of wall, you'll put it down and it'll copy itself onto the floor, and it's all mashed up and weird.
And if you're a soldier, the highest place you can get it is the best place.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, those walls at the spawn of Gravel Pit for the attackers are really goofy.
Are we actually discussing the strategy of placing sprays?
Yes.
This is totally weak.
Well, we're weak. Shut up.
Do you know what you should do whenever you see one of Wes's sprays? Spray over it. That's my strategy. Your move.
Burn.
Why would you want to spray over that? Have you seen his newest spray? It says, "I love Spencer."
It does.
Oh my god!
And it has a picture of a turnip, on a big wooden stick.
It has big anime eyes with a little teardrop coming out.
Okay, I think we wore this horse out. Hey, you know what? Let's see. Let's do our outro here.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
Holy crap. Go ahead.
Okay, so a lot of I was interested to find this out. A lot of the hacks that go out there that allow you to see through walls and depend upon user skins on existing models.
Right.
And there is a setting on the servers called SV Pure.
Yes.
That makes it so that if you are playing on the server, that it has to use the Valve versions of those skins as opposed to user-defined ones.
Do you want to hear the downside of that?
What?
You cannot use any user-generated content at all. That includes sprays.
Hold on. Brent, is that true?
There's different. There's like 1, 2, and 3. There's different.
So what were you saying, Spencer?
I was saying that Spencer cannot be trusted. Do not believe anything that Spencer says because he may be incorrect.
Indeed. And in this particular case, much like all the cases.
Are you saying that I can never, ever, no one can ever pay any attention to me because you
the only time they should pay attention to you is when you're speaking in Dutch.
Hey, I got a guide. Hey, Spencer, I got a guide for you that describes all of that, and it's written in Danish.
They're from Finland, right? Anyway, you know what? Come at
does that mean we should finish?
You will not let me finish my sentences. You won't.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
So
so our servers are set on the SV Pure 1, correct?
I don't know. I'll have to look.
They're set on one of them, though, right?
I told you something, and it was just to get you to leave me alone.
Oh.
I don't remember what it was now.
But basically, we allow sprays, but we have pure versions of the existing skin. The server requires pure versions of the existing skins, so you don't have to worry about some of the hacks that are going around.
Yeah. Yep.
So, okay, I'm done.
Let's wrap this sandwich up. Hey, we got a new...
So that's the podcast over. How did it go?
Nice.
We got a wiki for us here now.
Yeah.
Go to that. It's at tf2wiki.net/wiki/control_point_podcast. It's getting updated semi-regularly. We'd like to get more stuff there. Dig us. Give us iTunes.
iTunes reviews, because I go there pretty much every other day.
It's Wes's entire social life.
I am.
Stumble, give us thumbs up on StumbleUpon and join the community and the forums. Hey, what's our forums up to?
I don't know. What are our forums up to?
Our community, rather.
We got a lot of people.
It's over 600.
Yeah.
600.
It's over 600!
629.
Oh, and let's not forget our player of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Guess who it is?
I don't know. Who is it?
It's got to be.
It's got to be the one and only Ash Williams.
Thank you, Ash, for your awesome song.
Yes.
You're our player of the week.
You know, the people aren't winning this because they're players. We might want to consider having a multiple award situation.
Yeah,
whatever. Anyway, you can leave us text or voice email or give us a call at
256-513-4772. And stick around to hear Mr. Eagle's little mashup of Briefcase comedy.
That's the podcast.
I keep waiting for Brent to do something else.
How
That's
did it
wacky.
go?
Oh, yeah, there it is.
So that podcast.
Wow. I think someone sapped our robot.
Oh my God, shut it up.
Our robot host. See ya.
You are now at the end of another episode of Control Point.
Victory.
Every one of you deserves a medal.
A podcast brought to you by the Dead Workers Party. See the show notes and leave comments for this episode at controlpoint.deadworkers.com or leave us a voicemail at area code 256-513-4772.
Auf Wiedersehen!
Hi, this is Head Buddy. I know you guys love to hear me talk a lot, but I'll try to keep it short this time. On point C of Gravel Pit, if you, as an engineer, go on the last ramp going up to the top of the tower, right near the top, you can place a dispenser on that ramp and either side and jump up to the roof from on top of the dispenser using control jump and put a teleporter exit and maybe 1 or 2 sentries there if you can get another engineer to come up and help you. And it makes a very solid defense that is difficult to bust down unless it's pretty much a demo man or a soldier. And it's really high and a lot of people won't expect it. And that's all I've got to say.
The Briefcase.
By cracking open the old briefcase inside.
Yeah. So we got a briefcase here, don't we?
Do we need to do anything stupid to open it?
I think we should. Hey, Wes. Do you have the briefcase?
Yes, but I don't have the combination. Dun 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 dun.
Okay.
So we have 2 briefcases. I don't know why, but they're both identical. So I'm going to open one and hope that's the real one.
Okay.
Ready?
Are they marked? Do you have A and B on there?
Well, one's red and one's blue. So really they're identical other than the color.
Pick the blue one.
Okay, we'll open the blue one. Ready? Let's see, what do we got here? There's a kukri in here. There's a little note that says, now that's the LAN party over. How did it go?
I support that.
So are we just waiting for the scout to run into the room with the briefcase?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where is the briefcase today?
Man.
There it is. There it is. Somebody grab it.
I can't. Oh, wow. This is a lame bit we're doing here. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, do we have a briefcase?
Actually, we do, and it's huge and bulging this week.
What is that? What's sticking out on that side?
I don't know. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. It's gonna explode.
Oh
no! There's paper everywhere flying. Okay.
Does this get over?
Grab a random piece of paper that's floating in the air.
That's what was in the briefcase this week, and so I'm going to close that up.
And close the briefcase.
This week in the briefcase.
It's the briefcase.
The briefcase.
Pick the blue one.
Crazy stuff in there.